The replacement for Bubblegum has been chosen. The next two matches in the tag team tournament have been decided, and the FWA comes to the Excel Centre in London for the MCM Expo this weekend. That's what we're talking about on this edition of Frontline. Hello, I'm Len Davis and welcome to Frontline. After weeks of speculation, the FWA management have come to the decision over the potential replacement for Bubblegum in the flyweight title tournament. As you recall, Bubblegum was injured at the hands of Dave Morales at Battle Lines. This led to the announcement of Bubblegum's retirement several weeks later on FWA's YouTube channel. With the tournament only 2 matches in, pundits suggested that something had to be done to recover what was, on paper, one of the most exciting aspects of the new FWA. It wasn't long before the Wonder Kid Johnny Storm put his name into the proverbial ring as a potential replacement for the star from Hubba Bubbaville. However, as Storm was eliminated in the earlier stages of the qualifiers for the tournament, it wasn't long before his bitter rival Rockstar Spud, the man responsible for that elimination, made his feelings well and truly known. However, Storm's position as a top British flyweight around the world, Bubblegum's retirement, plus the fact that Storm's elimination was achieved by the illegal use of feet on the ropes, has led the FWA management to announce the following decision. The other flyweights in the tournament, El Ligero, RJ Singh and Rockstar Spud, will be given the opportunity to enter into a match with Johnny Storm. Should Storm score the winning pinfall, then he will be allowed to enter the tournament as Bubblegum's replacement. Should the pinfall be scored by any of the other 3, then they will gain 10 points towards the final score in the round-robin tournament. This situation is eerily reminiscent of the very first FWA round-robin tournament at Season Beatings, where, facing Jody Fleisch, Johnny Storm was forced to withdraw through injury. Later that evening, Johnny Storm's points would be picked up by last-minute surprise entrant Jerry Lynn, who would later go on to a 3-way dance in the final with AJ Styles and Doug Williams. The former ECW World and WWE Light Heavyweight Champion would go on to win the tournament to the surprise of the packed-out Broxbourne Civic Hall. As stars of the former FWA, RJ Singh and Rockstar Spud are no doubt aware of this piece of history, so FWA management have found a way to appease the possible disagreements. This match will not be a contractual obligation, but an opportunity for the contenders to gain extra points. As this decision has been made within the last 24 hours, we've had no responses from them as yet. But we hope to have word for you on the next edition of Frontline, which you can catch every Thursday on FWA's YouTube channel. However, I can tell you that if the match is to take place, it will be scheduled for the Art of War on June the 20th at Sport Nottingham. Now, on the subject of the Art of War, I can exclusively reveal the next 2 matches in the tag team tournament that was discussed on last week's programme. If war is indeed the theme of the event, the next 2 matches that I'm about to announce will certainly add fuel to that already blazing fire. At British Uproar, one of the FWA's most dangerous tag teams, Styx and Malin, had their long winning streak brought to a conclusive end at the hands of the long list of enemies they've created. The team that initiated the ambush were the spectacular high flyers, the Daredevil Dragons. It's safe to say that Styx and Malin would normally have gone after the Daredevil Dragons, were it not for a backstage incident between Styx and one half of the leaders of the new school, Zack Sabre Jr. This backstage encounter led to their thrilling confrontation at Battle Lines. A confrontation that highlighted the heavyweight House of Pain's reputation as one of the top big men in the country, on top of his impressive tag team accolades. With this in mind, the fact that I can now exclusively reveal Styx and Malin's first opponents as the Daredevil Dragons takes this rivalry to another level completely. Both Flying Ryan and Shane Spiral have tasted the controversial critical condition. However, the Daredevil Dragons had the upper hand the last time these 2 teams met. Styx and Malin versus the Daredevil Dragons is in stark contrast to the next match that I'm going to announce, which can be said has some peculiar roots. Joey Hayes and CJ Banks, along with fellow Northerners Dave Rain and Sam Bailey, have had a recent backstage confrontation of their own. The increasingly strange behaviour of Retropop's Dave Rain led him to interrupt an interview with Northern Exposure being held backstage with what he regarded as a light-hearted joke. However, it soon became apparent that Hayes and Banks saw things slightly differently. With this in mind, I can exclusively reveal that the next match in the tag team title tournament will pit these two teams against each other for the first time ever. Each team has its own heavy hitter, with CJ Banks and King of the Bosch combo Dave Rain. This is perfectly counterbalanced by Joey Hayes and super styling Sam Bailey, who are regarded by many as two of the most exciting young stars of the UK scene. I think you'll agree that this is a perfect addition for the already stacked lineup at the Art of War. FWA management are currently working on an added stipulation for that huge 8-man tag team main event that we announced last week. We hope to have more information on that soon, but let's move on to this weekend, when the FWA makes its appearance at the MCM Expo at London's prestigious Excel Centre. The FWA will present matches on the hour, every hour, over the 2 days, and what a selection of matches they're going to be. On day one, you'll see Dave Morales face the man whose best friend he retired from the business, the Mexican luchador El Ligero. In a three-way dance, RJ Singh will take on Doris Coffey and Rockstar Spud. The leaders of the new school will face the newly formed team of Joel Redmond and Yestin Reese. And as the main event of the first day, we present a huge non-title match as the FWA champion Martin Stone faces his nemesis Leroy Kincaid. On day two, the team of Styx and Malin take on the leaders of the new school. In a huge flyweight grudge match, RJ Singh will take on his bitter rival El Ligero. Part of the FWA's resistance team, Shah Samuels and Leroy Kincaid, will take on the Agenda's Joel Redmond and Yestin Reese. And in the main event of day two, in a huge non-title match, the Wonder Kid Johnny Storm will take on the leader of the Agenda and the world heavyweight champion, the Governor Martin Stone. The FWA cameras will be at the expo to give you an extended version of Frontline next week. But if you want to be there live, go to www.fwauk.com. Until then, don't forget, the Art of War comes to Sport Nottingham on June the 20th, and tickets are available now. That's it for this week. I've been Len Davis, and you've been on The Frontline.